Linear equations, meaning of linear equation and rules for solving linear equation. Now first of all, what do you mean by equation? An equation is basically a statement of equality. Okay, and the statement of equality, what do I mean by this? Let's say you have 3x plus 5 is equal to 20. This is a statement of equality, meaning that the side which is to the left of this equal sign, known as the left hand side, is equal to the side on the right side of this, also known as the right hand side, right? So an equation is basically a statement of equality in which there are one or more unknown quantities. Okay, now what does this mean? In this particular equation, if you note, we don't know the value of x. So x is the unknown quantity in this particular equation, right? So an equation is something like a statement of equality in which there are one or more unknown quantities. Coming back to linear equation, what is a linear equation? A linear equation is the one which has only linear polynomials. If you recall, polynomials is basically an algebraic expression which has two or more terms, right? So a linear polynomial is going to be something like this. Let's say, for example, 3x plus 5, right? 2x minus 3 is equal to 20. It could be in the form of fractions also. Let's say 2 upon 3 x plus 7 is equal to 12, right? So all these are linear polynomials. Now whenever you have to find out the value of this unknown variable, you basically need to solve this equation. Okay, and the value at which the equation is true. What does this mean? Equation is true, which means in which case the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, is called solution or root of equation. Now let's see this particular case. So we are given that 3x plus 5 is equal to 20, right? Now if x is equal to 5, then what will be the value that this equation will carry? It will carry 3 times x, which means 5, plus 5, the left hand side. 3 into 5 is 15, plus 5 is equal to 20, which is nothing but the right hand side. So in this case, if x is equal to 5, then the equation holds true. Okay, and hence x is equal to 5 is a solution or root of the equation 3x plus 5 is equal to 20. Now there are certain rules that one can follow as you go through these equations. And what are these rules? We will take this example of 3x plus 5 is equal to 20, x is equal to 5. Now rule number 1 is that if you add anything equal to both sides, results are unchanged. Now what does this mean? In this equation, let's say you add plus 2 to both the sides. So we put this as 3x plus 5 plus 2 is equal to 20 plus 2. So what I have done is I have added this plus 2 to both the sides. Now at x is equal to 5, we know what will be the value of this equation. 3 times x was 15 plus 5 plus 2, 7 is equal to 22. This is what the left hand side is. If you see the right hand side, 20 plus 2 is 22. Right? So the first rule is that if you add some quantity, anything equal to both the sides, the results are unchanged, or the equation remains unchanged. As a corollary to this, rule number 2 is that if you subtract anything from both the sides, so let's say instead of plus 3x plus 5, we subtract 2 from both the sides. 20 minus 2. 20 minus 2 is 18. 3 times x we know was 15 plus 5 plus minus 2. So this will again give you 18 is equal to 18. So add anything or subtract anything to both the sides and the result remain unchanged. Rule number 3 says that if you multiply both the sides by the same number, results are unchanged. Okay. Now what does this mean? So let's say we had the equation as right. So let's say we multiply both these sides by 5. X is equal to 5. So what will be the results? It will be 5 into 3 times x. 3 times x is 15 plus 5. 15 plus 5 is 20 into 5 is 100. 20 into 5 we know is 100. So if you multiply both the sides by the same number, and this number has to be any number other than 0, the results remain unchanged. Now you must be wondering, isn't this pretty simple and straightforward? The problem comes in that when, let's say, you have to multiply this 3x plus 5 by, let's say, y. Okay. So you will see these advanced features of algebraic expression as you move forward in your mathematics, right? But the idea is that it need not necessarily be a numeric number. It can again be some kind of a variable, and these operations help you in solving various linear equations, as we will see subsequently. The fourth part of this is that if you divide both sides by the same number, the results remain unchanged. So let's say, for example, you divide 3x plus 5 by 4, and you also divide 20 by 4. You get 20 divided by 4 equals to 5, and what you will get here is 3x plus 5 is again 20 divided by 4 is 5. But this can also be written as 3x upon 4 plus 5 upon 4. The usage of putting this like this is something which we are going to see as we move through our problems in next section. So these are basically what a linear equation is and what the rules of solving linear equations are.